To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. November 11th, Remembrance Day. It's an important day within Canadian history. When this episode airs, it'll be airing on that day, and it's important for us as Canadians to wear the poppy. Here he is. In honor of those who gave their lives for the freedom of this nation and around the world for World War II, and for those that fought in World War I as well. We honor the brave men and women of the Canadian services every day, the sacrifice they go through. We thank you and we honor you. For me, it's important that we wear the poppy. I'm happy with the way the Canadians honored the veterans yesterday. The way the ceremonial face-off, they brought in that over 90-year veteran. Was beautiful, beautiful. So wear a poppy. Remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice. Unless we forget. Hello, guys.
Hello, Savvy. Just admiring your beautiful speech. So
you could join in. You can join in. It's like I said, we're airing this episode on November 11th on Remembrance Day, so it's just fitting that we wear the poppy. I share parts of John McCrae's poem, which I love that the Montreal Canadiens tradition is passing the torch, but it's from basically John McCrae's famous poem in Flanders Field. So I love how there's the ties between the two, and I find it's a beautiful tradition that the Montreal Canadiens is going to have like forever, as it seems. So it's also it's so funny. Before we talk about hockey, and every November, every year, I get into this mode where I watch my favorite like World War II movies or my favorite war movies, and I'm a big like World War II history buff, and it's pretty much the reasons why I love it. It's because just the stories of the bravery behind the Canadian military, the British military, even the Americans, like just the way they conducted. Like if you think of D-Day, just the way those nations conducted that siege, the biggest military invasion in history, and they had to get that done, or else Hitler and the Nazis, God knows where they would have been at that time, and who knows what it could have been today. So yeah, it's just I go through this mode of like watching my favorite World War II movies.
What's your favorite?
Saving Private Ryan.
Okay,
it's my top.
Hard to argue with that. Yeah,
it's my top favorite World War II movie. But I think Fury became my second favorite, with Brad Pitt and a couple of other actors too, about like more the American tank wars, I guess. Band of Brothers is just an awesome show, and I just started watching The Pacific. Actually, I just finished episode 2 for the very first time.
Good?
So it's literally the same creator, same production team that did Band of Brothers, but now the main focus is on when the Americans were battling the obviously the Japanese military in the Pacific. So like, yeah, Band of Brothers, where it's D-Day plus in Europe, where in the Pacific it's obviously where they're battling the Japanese in the Pacific. So yeah, it's just every November I get into this mode where like I watch the documentaries that are on Netflix, like World War II documentary in color. There's a bunch of good ones out there, and it's just crazy. Can you have imagined living in that time?
No, I know our good friend Anxious Anthony loves those times. Really, he does. Not the war part, but I'm being serious. He seems always like old school, and he loves like I know he says more 50s, which is a bit past the World War, but he always said he likes the simpler times. So I don't know if I believe that because he took to his phone. But anyway,
were those times simpler?
in
Really?
certain ways,
Maybe. I'm just saying, like it's just it's funny. I had this conversation with a colleague, and it was like this person is there. It's like, oh no, war is bad, and so it's like, yes, obviously, nobody wants war. The First World War was very, very unnecessary. Like millions and millions of lives, not civilian lives, but military lives, were lost. And
trench.
It was just that's what it was. Just trench wars, trench battles, and at most you won maybe 100 yards, 200 yards of gainage. I'm throwing out numbers here, but like for the battle for territories that that the army was fighting for, like they lost, they gained, they lost, they gained. There was literally no advancement. But then you look at World War II, and it was unfortunately a war that had to happen because I think Hitler had a big major goal in plan, and thank God he did not succeed at that time, because who knows what would have happened today. So, like I said, lest we forget, we remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and we honor those that serve in the Canadian military today. To the men and women, thank you, and we honor you, and we salute you. I don't even know if I did that properly, but anyways.
Good enough. Good enough.
Good enough. All right, so let's get on with the Montreal Canadiens, who are coming off a 2-game winning streak. First one being in, what was it, against Detroit on Tuesday. Coming off a 3-2 victory in shootouts. Mike Hoffman getting 2 goals after constant bashing and trash talking made against him. Comes out, scores two nice goals. Plays created by Brendan Gallagher. I'm looking at the both of you. I'm looking at both you motherfuckers.
Looking right back.
I'm ready to destroy you both if you talk.
Okay. You ready? You ready?
Shut it.
Okay.
Shut it.
How the fuck was the second star? Suzuki a goal and an assist, and Gallagher's the second star. Who's voting for this?
You know, the best thing,
just got pummeled in front of the net.
And the best thing about it is that you can't do anything about it. So, yeah, but it still took Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki to win the game in shootouts. So, and then they come again, another victory against the Canucks, this time by a score of 5-2, which was total domination. I know the Canucks are bad, but Jesus Christ, I didn't think they were that bad.
I still can't believe Caulfield out-muscled Tyler Mars on the boards for that dot goal. Something that still hasn't registered to me today.
But then, does that mean that there's just something not right with the Vancouver Canucks players? That they're just
there isn't. I don't know if it's playing for the coach. They're not this bad on paper. They're not.
No, they're not. Well, there was a whole big deal. They have to sign. They have to sign Miller. They have to sign Horvat.
Horvat's actually producing though.
Big time.
Yeah, but he's the only one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
I don't know what's going on with Elias Pettersson, but
we'll take him.
No,
I definitely take him as a second line center, 100%.
Why not Quinn Hughes? Since we're in that topic of conversation, we'll take them all.
No, because we're gonna get Lane Hudson, because we have Lane Hudson. That's why. So yeah, it's honestly it's a team that's being led once again by the kids, and if it weren't for that top line, I don't know what this team would be doing. I'm going to mention this: if it weren't for that top line and the goaltending, because that top line of Doc, Suzuki, and Caulfield, could they be the best? Could they be at least one of the best first lines in the NHL right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yep.
I mean, look at that, a total of 24 points in 6 games. It's been 6 games since that line was put together. They have a total of 24 points. I mean, Kirby Dach alone, 3 goals and 6 assists, 9 points in 6 games. He just looks like a completely new player.
Joey.
Some were saying he held his own since he started with the Canadiens, but he looks a lot better overall as a player. He looks better as a winger. I know it's easier for centerman to go on the wing, but Jesus Christ. I didn't think he'd be I knew he could play well, but I didn't think he'd be dominating though at this point.
Joey, I was going to say, did I say Anderson 30 goals at the beginning of the season? I got my numbers confused. It was just 77, not 17. I completely got
went
thrown
with
off
Anderson,
over there.
Caulfield, and Suzuki. Sorry, Gallagher. Whoa.
No. I never said Gallagher.
No, you said yes. You said 3 with Suzuki. You're right. It was Sam and Anthony that went with Gallagher. That's right.
Gallagher is. Gallagher's
we already
gonna
spoken about
struggle
that.
to break 15.
Both of you should fuck off because you're both fucking valuing Gallagher with his contract on goals. Can you fucking stop that shit now, both of you? What he did yesterday, attacking both fucking Ekman Larson and Demko, fucking right, man.
You don't pay 6.5.
Fucking right.
You don't. Man, my only comment about Gallagher,
I'll give him 10 million as long as he fucking. If he keeps doing that, that's leadership. That's leadership, though. I'm sorry.
He's not the cap. Well, he's not captain, so.
No, he's still got the A. Stop it, guys! Now, stop it, guys! Seriously, now it's enough with the fucking. The best thing about it is I can mute you both and take you off this fucking thing, and I'll carry the show. I'll carry the show on myself.
Speak for yourself.
I will speak by myself.
My only comment about Gallagher is you can get a $1 to $2 million player that can do the same thing in front of net and stir shit that Gallagher does.
Who else in the league does that?
Anybody. Ryan.
No, anybody. Who?
Ryan Reeves. Good.
Ryan Reeves. Really? Ryan Reeves. Really? Poor. I love Ryan Reeves, but the guy can't even fucking skate.
Neither can Gallagher.
So. Yes, he can. He skates a lot better this year than he did last year.
He's meant to score goals, not to just bang heads in front of the crease.
And he could. If any of you try to do that, you'd be fucking going.
But I'm not paid $6.5 million.
Exactly. So shut up.
I don't know. You're
home. You're home right now with me. Well, not with me, but you're here with me talking about a guy who's fucking.
This is
a lot tougher than you are. A lot tougher than any of us here.
Yes, this is our podcast. Yes. It's our work. We're supposed to talk about Montreal and how we see fit. This is our work.
You get paid for work. We get paid for this.
It's work, fun, work, all the same thing. To be honest, this is work and fun at the same time.
Okay.
Speaking about the Canadians, but this is whether it's myself, other writers who actually get paid share the same opinions I do. I mean, there's not a writer out there that watches
anti-Montreal Canadiens writers.
Well, there's pro-Montreal that have opinions on certain players and how they are. They need to be a little more professional because they're getting paid and it's a lot more known in public. But I watch just as much Montreal as a lot of the writers do, and they have some wild opinions about certain players. So I'll have the same. I mean, that's what it is. I don't want to pay $6.5 million for a guy who shoots a puck off of goalie's pad to hit a guy's skate, to go back into the net, and then start battling with 2-3 guys in front of net just to get into fights. I don't pay that.
I think it's a great thing. You're too focused on his fucking contract.
No, you know what? Let's put his contract aside. Seriously, put the contract aside. I know he's a pest. I know he's brave. He's got some of the biggest balls in the league. What's really frustrating about Gallagher in that sense is if he's going to stir up shit, he's always just getting pummeled. And I don't want Rocky, like making another Rocky analogy, but he's known for taking a beating and getting back up. That's why it's so refreshing to have a guy like Jack-Eye who he's not even going to fight in the first place because he's so scary to approach. Gallagher's just a pest. He's an annoyance. If he was on any other team, forget the contract. If he was on any other team, he would be one of the most hated players that I've ever gone against. And of course, people will say, you know what? I pay to have that kind of player on my team. But again, he taking a beating. We're complimenting him for taking a beating. When does he give a beating? He doesn't.
How can he give a beating at 5'9"? Like, what do you want? He doesn't fight. He can't fight. He can't
I
give a
know he
beating.
doesn't fight, so then why does he stir shit up only to get the
Because
shit? It's
who
embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. No, it's not. That's you don't understand. That's what he's not a distraction to any of those guys in that locker room. Like, stop it. He's a fucking
No,
leader in that
I'm
locker
not.
room.
I didn't say he's a
You
distraction. It
said
would
that
be
last episode.
house. No, it's a distraction. It's a distraction when he goes on Twitter after the game because he's a fucking baby. You
Okay,
don't.
he
You
did
don't.
that. He did that once. Okay, get over it, guys. Get
One
over it.
time too much.
Oh, stop it. Okay, Mister Perfect over here. Stop it, guys. Stop it.
I'm out
Like,
of. By the
seriously.
way, I'm out of the rest of this conversation. I have
No, you're
said
not. You're
a
part of this.
million things
You're
about
part of this.
Gallagher. I am fed up. I think the fans are fed up hearing me talk
No,
about
they're
Gallagher. So
well. Not only the fans are fed up, but anyways, just can we stop it now? Like, seriously, like, stop
Let's
fucking
move on to better players.
no, but stop putting the value on him that he has to score goals just because he gets paid
but
six.
that's what he get paid. That's what he
Yeah,
got paid to do.
but it is what it is, Joe. It fucking is what it is, both of you. Like, fucking live with it. Seriously, like, live with it, because I'm getting fed up of the fucking
Now,
bashing.
that comment won't win a
He's-
cup with him on our team. So that's
Wait, okay. Why we're relying on Brendan Gallagher to help us?
no.
To
We
win the
won't win a
Stanley
cup with him on our team. That's all.
Really?
Yes,
If he's a number, you tell me if he plays third line minutes,
we
you
still
tell
won't
me
win a cup with him on our team.
really? Oh,
Yes.
you're fucking
We
crazy.
haven't done it yet.
You're fucking. We went to the finals.
That's not winning a cup.
We still went to the fucking finals. Oh,
But
come
that's not
on,
winning
Joe.
a cup.
Oh, Joe, give me a fucking break here. Come on, man. You're usually a lot more logical than this, Joe.
But
Come on.
we're not talking about second place. I'm talking about winning the whole thing and holding it up.
Joe, if we have the proper players to surround this team and he's there as a veteran presence, a third line presence,
He's
you
gonna
tell
be
me
too old, Sam. At that time, it's gonna happen. He's gonna be too old.
yeah, but I put him on any team. But you telling me you put him on the Colorado Avalanche or Tampa Bay Lightning, they're not going to win the cup?
Sam, David Savard won the cup with Tampa Bay. Come on.
As a number 5 or 6.
Yeah, he barely had
Okay.
to play. I can win the cup with Colorado. Put me on the fourth line.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Hold
I'll
hold
skate
up
for
though.
10 minutes a game. Come on.
This is the perfect example of this. I would take Arturi Lehkonen any day over Brendan Gallagher.
100%.
That's a guy that
And he re-signed
that's
a
a
contract
guy-
that's still less than Gallagher, and he produces more than he does.
What do you want me to tell? Okay, anybody could produce when you're on the line with McKinnon.
He wasn't on with McKinnon.
Yes, he was.
Not during the final. Not
Yes.
during the
What
cup run.
are you insane? Did you
No.
not watch?
Yes, not during their cup run.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, he was. Dude.
They broke up the Landeskog, Rantanen, and McKinnon line.
They
the whole
put
time.
they put Lehkonen on with McKinnon,
In certain situations, I don't think it was all the time.
and it got him the game-winning goal.
Yeah, because he's used to that. He could score. Huh.
Well, fuck.
Anyways, I'm done with the conversation.
I never
said it.
I'm just saying, like, both of you, cut the fucking Gallagher hate or whatever. You don't have to like his contract. You don't have to like, I don't know, whatever else it is, but like, it's enough now from the both of you. Okay.
I haven't said anything. You brought it up.
Just from it's last episode that I wasn't there that I couldn't fucking say anything to either of you. I have my chance here, so broke the ice. We're done.
Feeling better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, on to real things now. Can we talk about that first line? I want to talk about that first line.
Yeah, I was gonna start with the two games. So I have good news and bad news with the two games I watched. We're not as bad as I thought we were. Is the good news.
Okay.
And the bad news, we're not as bad as I thought we were.
Mm-hmm.
So draft pick for me, top 3. I'm sorry, but I just
okay. But what about top 10? What about top 10?
Borderline. There's a lot of shit teams in the league, and Vancouver really showed it to us. And games like Detroit, games you should lose, and I'm sorry they got outplayed against Detroit. I'm not saying in a particular period where just in an overall 60 minutes, I think they got outplayed.
Yeah.
But
Detroit's a stronger team too this year.
Yes, they're doing phenomenal. They were actually doing very well. They were 6th when they play us.
Yes.
And our goaltending came to the rescue. I don't know Montembeault if he channeled some inner Price thing now that he's playing better, or he went to pray at some sort of church and got all of Price's talent. I have no idea if it's some supernatural thing that he got goaltending abilities. I'm thinking like that Space Jam, Like if you ever watched the movie
He's
Space
got Mike's.
Jam,
He's got Mike's secret stuff.
he's got Mike's
Yes.
secret stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I don't know if he
I
took
love
it
that
from
scene.
like a hockey puck that was glowing, but this guy is now. Yeah, you know when they touched the basketball and they took all the powers of the NBA players.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Okay.
don't know if he
Okay.
did something like that,
Okay,
but
you're talking about the good Space Jam movie because there's two of
yes,
them.
not the bad, not the LeBron James one. That one was terrible. He looks like a different goaltender. So when you can bank on a loss of Moton Bows and Nets, now you can't bank on it. So
Mhm.
I don't think they're bad enough to be. I wanted top 3. Top 5 was going to be the next resort, but I don't even think that top 10 is where it's going to be borderline.
Okay.
And it showed. And they played, honestly, they played a very good game against Vancouver, not as so much against Detroit. And to lead into it, Sammy, that top line is actually really good. And we will probably see where my prediction was wrong. I said 130 goal score. It seems like we're going to have 2 with Suzuki. And Doc is just, he's just been he fits like a glove on that line and just
Absolutely.
producing like an actual top line.
So you're talking about the goaltenders performing way out of the expectations.
Not Allen, though. Allen.
No, Allen. No, especially more towards Motombo. But
We
either
need
way, like
Primo if we want bottom 3. I think that's what we need.
no, I get that. But last year, like Jake Allen played well, but it didn't look like he was able to steal games. If you get what I'm saying, I feel like this year he is a little
More
bit
towards
more.
his injury, yeah, I noticed. At the
So
beginning, he did. If you remember the San Jose game last year, you
yes,
guys
yeah.
remember?
Oh yeah.
I was like, we
He
haven't
earned,
won in 1999. I was like, this the whole
he
game.
earned
We
that.
had like
He
almost
earned that
50
shutout.
shots.
He earned that
Yeah,
shutout.
yeah,
It was
he did.
amazing. Okay, take the way the kids are playing, the amount of goals they're scoring, but you put the goaltending from last season into this season. Are we still winning those games? These games right now?
Maybe not maybe not the Detroit and some other games that we played a couple of games where they stole it for
Mhm.
sure. But games like Vancouver, yes, I would think so.
Okay.
What other games? Games like we had a few this season where we really outplayed the team.
I think Vegas destroys us.
No, they did. They did. They definitely did. Like that wouldn't even been that close without the goaltending.
No, exactly. So
St. Louis we still win, I think, because we didn't have goaltending that game, and that first line just didn't stop scoring. We were down 3-1, and then Dvorak and the first line just kept scoring, and we won 7-4. So
yeah, but even St. Louis too. Like, what the hell is going on with them?
I don't know them too. They've lost 7 or 8 straight. This is a team I thought that was going to go to the either conference finals or at least the quarterfinals, and not even. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. Ottawa, Vancouver. This is what I'm saying is with Montreal is I don't see them worse than some of the teams below. Even Arizona is looking like better than some of these teams that are even lower. Columbus too.
So who are the teams that this year we were expecting to be bottom besides the Canadians?
Philly,
Arizona,
which so far wrong.
Philly, Arizona,
Seattle, which
Seattle,
completely wrong.
Yeah.
So look at this. And I could add in one other bonus team. I thought the Islanders would be a bit Seattle's number 5 in the league, like in.
But Shane Wright's doing nothing, so we don't have to worry about that.
But he's not even playing. Philly is 13. I mean Arizona is below us, but they're not. But they're in 25th.
They're keeping up.
They're in 25th place. They're only 4 points behind us. Who else? Who did we say? We said Philly. Philly 16 points. They're in the 13th spot.
And Chicago was the other one for me.
Yes,
Chicago, big time.
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah,
they're kind of like us. They're about 500.
Yeah, well, right now they're
they are 500.
Yeah, they
exactly.
are 500. They're 12 points. They're 3 points behind us in the 23rd spot. Like Pittsburgh, I didn't think Pittsburgh would have a 7-game losing streak.
No, they're surprising, but I think they'll pick it up. Them, St. Louis should pick it up. They're surprising. Ottawa's been surprising. Vancouver's been surprising. Columbia's been surprising.
Calgary has been shockingly bad.
Yeah, them too.
I said that Ottawa. Everyone's there's like, oh my god, Ottawa's strong, and I'm there. Like,
well, they're without Josh Norris. It doesn't help. They're without. I mean, that's their number 1 center. I mean, that's like us being out without Suzuki. Like
I understand that, but even before, yeah, okay, fine, fair, but I don't know. I for Ottawa with me, I just thought I
I
wasn't
know.
sure because they don't again they don't have a goaltender. But look, I mean, do the Canadians have a goaltender? I
Well,
don't know.
well, more than they do, I
True.
would think.
So listen, it's just I didn't think Suzuki would be on the verge of scoring 30 goals, but I think I thought it'd be more like 20, 25.
Me too. I
I
thought
think
he'd break out, but not scoring 30 goals. I thought it would be like 25 with like a high amount of assists.
but he looks like a whole other level now.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Him and Caulfield.
Those two are it just looks too easy for them in a sense. It's
When
like
was
they
the last
still
time we're able to say that?
no, exactly. And what I mean by easy, I'm not saying it they make it look easy to like the McDavid and the Matthew standards, but it's just it's I don't know if it's just because they have just such amazing chemistry together. They know where to find each other on the ice, but like just proper positioning, right place, right time, doing the right things. Like it's going for them. They really got it going for them,
Right.
and
And
like
and this
Yeah.
is a proper top line because you know who was our top line for like forever that everybody enjoyed. Even advanced statistics would show they were a great line, but they just wouldn't produce as much as I would want a top line would do. It would be the Tatar, Dano, and Gallagher line, which everyone loved them. They had
yeah,
good chemistry, but it
they
wasn't.
did.
I'm sorry, it wasn't a top line for as much advanced
No,
metrics as people said with puck possession and Corsi and all those. They just that wasn't a top line. I'm sorry. Like they still like they needed a lot to score, a lot more effort and
yeah.
less talent for them, and you can't sustain that. So this is an actual top line, and Doc really is what a trade we made. Getting him these last two games have really shown Doc how good he's been. And I haven't heard anything great about Romanov. I know you won't hear much about him.
Yeah, I mean Romanov, like he's not an offensive defenseman. He's a
No, you're
shutdown
not going to hear much
defenseman. He's a
about
number
him. But
four, number five.
but
But yeah,
essentially that was our deal for Doc was him.
yeah.
And he's just I don't know. He fits in so well on that right side to
So
them.
so so do you keep Doc on the wing then?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like
Especially
even
especially if you get Bedard or Fantilli. Yeah,
We have
it's
an overwhelming amount of centers. We really there's no demand for centers right
we might
now.
get rid of one though, Chris.
I don't know. Like what centers do we have out there? Like
Monahan,
within the
Dvorak,
system.
Evans.
Okay, okay. Go Chris with what you're gonna say because right now my concern is that the kids are great. The way they're playing, they're great. But this team's still gonna look a lot different in 2, 3 seasons from now.
I agree.
So
Agree.
I like Jake Evans on the fourth line as a
absolutely,
center. I
absolutely.
know Dvorak might have a change of scenery by the end of this season trade deadline. I have to say, this is just a personal preference, but I'm really liking and I'm hoping to keep, or he maybe even comes back in the off season. I'd like to see Monahan here for maybe a season or two at the right price on the third line. I think a great mentor for the younger guys,
Hmm.
and for that reason, look, Doc, he's having a lot of difficulty on the face-off or at the face-off dot. I think the responsibility is very different, and if he can produce on the wing, um, and do what Alex Galchenyuk could never do, other than for maybe one season of 30 goals. I keep Doc there, no problem whatsoever. Even I'm gonna say something crazy, but I think Josh Anderson eventually might be a guy who's traded away, and I would
Agree.
love to see Kirby Doc take over that right wing role that Josh Anderson will leave if ever he's traded.
Well, look, if you're gonna think about contracts here when they're coming to an end, look, at the end of this season, let's say there's no trades that happen. We go straight to the offseason from here on in. You have Droy that's done. You have Dadanov that's done.
Bye.
You have Mona
Joey.
and you have Monahan that's done.
Him, I would
Now,
resign.
those no, but hold on. But these are the next three UFAs, right? You have Hoffman done at the end of next season, and you have Dvorak done at the end of not next season, but the one after.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are five. Those are five guys that in 3 seasons from now they're gone. give or take, more or less. Okay, who replaces those 5 guys though in this lineup?
Oh, easily. Look, Massar is going to come in. Owen Beck is going to be coming in. I know they're young, like crazy, but
Okay.
Sean
those guys
Farrell.
already.
Yeah. No. I'm seriously asking. Okay, you have
Sean
Beck,
Farrell.
Massar. Okay, we could put Farrell in. Sure.
I think 1 or 2 are going to come via trade or free agency when
So
the
you
time
think
is right.
so you think like a veteran player?
Like a veteran or an actual, like maybe we'll land like a top trade for somebody or a top signing when
Okay.
Hughes is ready to say like, yeah, this team is ready to take the next step.
Mm-hmm. Is
You
it
know,
a bit of a concern to you guys that there's isn't that much secondary scoring after this first line?
Yes, there is, and
yeah,
that's the next thing that will need to be addressed. Like I don't want to call them just top line. I think again, I hate to say it, but this is why I think it's so crucial to get Bedard or Fantilli because this is
Mm-hmm.
what's going to slot in as the like Chris said as the next center with not after Suzuki. I'm going to say with Suzuki because Monahan
yes.
would fit great as the third and Evans fits great as the fourth. So I think that spot is missing. And then if Slafkovsky can produce, well, there you go. You have one of the wingers for them, and for the other one, again, it might be a new guy coming in like Massar in a couple of years, or if Hughes is ready to take the next step, maybe he'll sign or trade for somebody that will replace one of Hoffman, Dandanoff, even Anderson at some case, and that will be your second line.
Because
But
out of all those veterans, I can't see Anderson and Gallagher being moved anytime soon.
no, I don't because there's other guys to move. I think where Chris is getting at, and same for myself, I'm just thinking in like a hockey sense where we're not talking about what players can be moved as of right now. There's too many. Like
That's right.
logically, you can't do it. But I'm saying like
Yeah.
he's a one with a contract you got to look out for because it's not going to look good down the years. And it's starting on the decline. So if you can move for him,
Which player are you talking about?
He's
Anderson.
talking Anderson.
I think every year has been a slight, not a noticeable decline, but a slight one. I just think every year starting from a couple of years ago, it's starting to go a little less and less for him. I don't know. He's just been less impactful, more injuries. So I would say if it's a contract you can move, then move it. But if you can't, then well, it's not bad to keep.
Again, though,
Personally,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
Go.
I think Anderson is one guy that becomes extremely tradable. I don't think this year, but in the future years,
I think they're still
at
getting
the
offers for him.
deadline,
Huh? I think
I
they're getting
think
offers for him.
look at Hyman in Edmonton.
Toronto misses him.
I think oh my god, he's a key player on Edmonton.
Mhm.
He brings a lot of speed. He
Mhm.
brings like a rough edge. He's really like an element that's missing. There are not many players in the league like that, and Josh Anderson fits the profile. I think if you put him with the right guys who can maybe see the game a little bit better, I think that guy puts up a few points. He makes a few great hits. He adds a lot of speed to any given line. The other point that I wanted to make, and Joe, you brought him up. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my very best not to be a homer, but Slavkovsky, has he not been like a step or two quicker in the past like 3 games?
Yeah, I
That
agree.
He's
He's
that he
getting
getting
did play.
better. Yeah, I
I
agree.
think he's ready. He's ready to get off that fourth line. So that's another guy that's going to be moving up and
Not
getting
yet.
other guys up.
No, I say keep him there. Keep him there. He's been getting better since he got there. Keep him there a bit more, unless you see that. Okay, no shit. This guy's like
He's
he's
above and
creating. He's
beyond.
no, but
Well,
no, not that he's above and beyond. But if he's creating scoring chances on his own on the fourth line, then it's like okay, you bump him up to a line where it's like okay, he's got a bit more, well, for lack of a better term, talented players. If he keeps showing that like he's creating scoring chances on his own on a fourth line, the more he does that, the more you give the coaching staff a reason to bump him up lines. Because right
and
now,
I
everybody, because a lot of people are there like, how is he supposed to progress if he's on the fourth line? It's like no, he's going up against other teams' fourth line where he looks like the strong, dominant player out there, creating
true.
and he's creating scoring chances, and he's getting power play minutes.
And I
And
would
another
hope
thing
he would
too.
get bumped to chemistry is obviously a big thing. I don't think he looked good, and I'm not saying it because I'm not a fan of Gallagher, but I don't think he looked good with Dvorak Gallagher. It might be a matchup thing where he was matching up against second or third lines, but I don't think he looked good with that pair. So if they were to try him, somewhere else, I would hope it would be with Monahan. The problem is that he plays
Yeah, I
with
agree.
Dwayne, who plays the same side, which
Yeah.
is a little bit of a problem. I don't think Anderson and him should play on the same line. Like, unless you want to create like a Bash Brothers type thing, I don't think they should play on the same line. So maybe like a Hoffman in that case,
You put
or
Hoffman on the right.
yeah, Hoffman on the right. I mean, because Dwayne does not play anywhere else but the left,
No.
and same with Slafkovsky. So unless one of them move, maybe a Hoffman, so you have like a shooter, like a perimeter shooter, and then you have Slafkovsky and Monahan.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I agree with you, Sam. I think he's doing well on the forward line. Keep him. I mean, he is. We'll talk about it, but he is gone for 2 games now. So
Yeah. Well, listen, now that we mentioned that, let's get on that subject. Like, it's literally 2 players in what, 2 games that get two suspensions. It's all in twos. It's, you got Josh Anderson, Slafkovsky, both suspended for 2 games. We'll recap Josh Anderson with a hit from behind on Alex Pietrangelo, and then Uri Slafkovsky against Detroit. I keep forgetting the other player's name.
Luff.
Luff, that's right. Thank you. And I think Luff was
he's out for like a few weeks. I
he's
think.
out for like 10 weeks, I think, with a broken
Yeah, 10
with a
to 12
broken,
weeks.
with a broken wrist or like a fractured forearm or something like that.
See that I can't agree with Sam. It just I find they judge suspensions based off the other person's injury. I don't think it
Okay.
should be that way.
Okay. So my first question to both of you is are they both deserving of that? Do you think it's just too much, not enough?
I think it's just, but I do think I'm not sure if they follow the rules very well because this is their first time offense, especially if Slafkovsky.
Yeah.
Normally they give you 1 game, but I think they gave him 2 because of the injury, and that's what I was going to get into.
Mhm.
Interesting
I think
though,
so.
by St. Louis, I thought it was really interesting what he said. And he said
Yes.
the quote about if it was us on the other side,
Yeah.
I would have asked for more. So thankfully, it's just 2 games. I was actually
Yeah.
shocked because I don't know. Maybe they see it differently. It's just because he got injured, they gave him 2 games. But I don't think injury should be a factor on the number of games you get suspended for.
Okay.
I don't think it should be a factor. If it's a dirty hit, whether the guy gets a concussion or doesn't, he avoids it or gets hurt or he doesn't, like you should have enough rules to find out like how dirty a hit is. You should have enough like ways to
See,
kind of evaluate it without an injury.
I'm gonna say this though, because the game is so fast. Like it's faster than it's ever been. And this is just watching on TV. Like, imagine when you're in person, not even live attending the game, but imagine when you're like at ice level behind the bench as a player or as a coach. So what I'm trying to get at is I really thought I'm gonna start with Josh Anderson's hit. And because Josh Anderson looked like he was going after Pietrangelo, I think there was a play because Pietrangelo hit him, so he wanted to hit him back. I don't think Josh Anderson meant to literally hit him from behind, because if you look carefully at the play, like on slow motion, like Pietrangelo turns his back at the very, 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 very last second. So Josh Anderson wanted to deliver a clean hit. It's just the game happens so fast that players within an instant turn around. Next thing you know, you're hitting a guy from behind. And I understand that the NHL wants to eliminate or crack down on these so-called dirty hits or these dirty plays, trying to protect the players. I get that. I thought he was going to get 1 game because of that. I thought 1 game. Actually, at first, I thought he was going to get a fine. I thought he was going to get just a fine for, what is it? The minimum, the $5,000 fine.
I think it's 5,000. Yeah.
So I thought he was going to get that simply because he got ejected. Now, and it's the same thing too with the rules. Like, if you get ejected, is that supposed to play? Is that supposed to determine how many games you're going to get?
It should have.
There's so many different factors into it, right? And then Slafkovsky again, when left, like he fanned on trying to clear it. If he does clear the puck, there's chances are that his body is being lateral to Slafkovsky, and Slafkovsky delivers a side hit rather than a hit from behind. So I mean I don't know. And
I have
again I get that the league is trying to crack down on these dirty hits, but it's you see some players that they don't slow down. Like when they see the numbers in front, they don't slow down. Like I just feel that in these two cases, Anderson and Slafkovsky, they I truly believe they did not mean to do those kinds of hits from behind.
Well, you know what's so funny? You look at especially let's start with the Slav or I'll start with the Slavkovsky hit. Remember when Rossi hit him and he fell into the boards?
That was
He
clean.
was it was clean. I'm
Hmm.
just saying Slavkovsky just so happened to be, as you're mentioning, turned to the side.
Yeah,
He just wasn't aware. He
that's right.
was like situational awareness wasn't there, but it could have
Yep.
been a lot worse. Honestly, just because of the situation that he put himself in. I
Yep.
don't think like the speed at which Slavkovsky I want to say it like this: bumped him. He's a big, heavy kid. He bumped him. He bumped him hard. It didn't
Hmm.
look like a malicious, like absolute denting
No,
of a
no,
hit.
exactly.
So it was kind of like, holy crap. Okay, that's unfortunate because, as you said, he found on the puck. He's stumbling. He doesn't have his balance. The guy comes in, gives him, I'm gonna say, a strong push,
Yeah.
and he deserved his suspension. But because it was a strong push and the guy was off balance, it led to an atrocious result. I have a contrasting view for Anderson, however. If I
Hmm.
look at that hit, I swear to God, I'm sorry to say, but it reminds me of the Lemire hit on Draper. Like
Hold
that, it's a miracle. It's a
on.
miracle that Pietrangelo was not injured because the way his face hit the boards, it was a miracle that he got up right after. I was genuinely surprised when I saw the hit in slow motion, whatever, that he got back up and he was able to jump
Mm,
in. I thought that the speed it's more like Josh Anderson coming in with that much speed, that close to the boards. Yes, Pietrangelo turned, but be aware, be mindful of your surroundings, and to come in with again with that much speed, that much force, you're there's a good chance you're going to injure him even if you hit him square on the shoulder. So Josh Anderson,
yeah,
I thought he
but
could have had more. Slavkovsky, I thought he could have gotten one. It was just an unfortunate result
And
but that's exactly that. I thought Slafkovsky could get one because the hit was less than what Anderson did.
it's such a judgmental call by humans that it's so Anderson gets two, Slavkovsky got two. We all think Anderson's hit was worse, but the fact that he didn't injure somebody, he got two. But the fact that Slavkovsky did, he got the same amount. And
So
then
you're
St. Louis, hold on before
yeah,
you finish.
yeah, yeah.
There's a quote about Slavkovsky's hit. Luckily, we didn't get more, but didn't say anything about Anderson. But Anderson hit was worse. So I
So
don't know.
so you're saying, Joe, if Pietrangelo would have been injured, let's say he's out for 3-4 weeks, fracture or shoulder or whatever, you think Anderson gets more games?
Based on their what they ruled for him, yes.
I think
Interesting.
so too.
If
I
if
think so
they
too.
if they gave him, I thought he should have gotten 2 games. I think 1 to 2 games would have been fair. But the
Hmm.
fact they gave him two without an injury, I think they would have gave him more. See that I will still say yes, but thing is, I know they don't give too many games for your first offense, so
That's right.
it's kind of hard to judge what they think. But based on this ruling, I would think they would have given more because they would have given more if he got injured. Slavkovsky would have gotten less if Luff didn't get injured. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I think it would have been one game.
Oh,
I
Sorry.
don't think Slavkovsky, if you want my opinion, I don't think Slavkovsky should have gotten in. I think Anderson should have gotten 1 to 2 games, so that's fair. I don't think
Yeah,
Slavkovsky should have gotten in.
I think so too, and I'm glad that Chris, you mentioned the Marco Rossi the Marco Rossi hit more or less. 'Cause a lot of people are pissed. Everybody thought that was dirty. That hit was not dirty. That
No.
hit
mhm.
that hit by Marco Rossi on Juraj Slavkovsky was not dirty one bit. It was a clean hit. It's a guy finishing his check as he's changing lines. This is something that the kid's going to learn, and I have a feeling that he probably took that experience as like, oh, okay, if there's a guy trying to clear the puck in front of my bench and I want to
Mhm.
change, I'm going to try to finish my hit. Just so happened that Love fanned again. The numbers turned. unfortunate circumstances. But one thing now that I think we're gonna be seeing from now on the league is like, is it gonna be consistent? Because if there's one thing this league, in my opinion, they're not consistent on these punishments.
Never. They're not consistent on anything, and it's just as NHL. I think all major sports, team sports, they're not consistent on rules. So there's a lot of judgmental calls, and it's always going to be this way.
I know we're more Habs centric, but did you guys see what Matthew Tkachuk did to Jonathan Quick? Like
Yep.
that would have been a perfect example to make a statement to say 5 games you're out. He obviously I'm alluding to
How much did he get for
Matthew.
that though?
2 games,
He got
2
two games
games, and you clearly.
nobody got a fine too, no, for like 100,000,
I'm not 100% sure
something like
about
that.
the fine, but you
Okay.
clearly saw he turned his wrist to wedge his stick inside
Yeah.
of Quick's mask. I mean, you could. I'm not even exaggerating. You could take out an eye. You can blind a guy. Like the fact that he even thought about that, it's kind of like, okay, you're going home, you're going to sit this out and you're going to think about what you did because you really, really could have done much worse just because the play is dead. There's nothing to be done. You're angry, and just because you're angry, you do that. Like that was a disgusting, dirty play, and I thought the league dropped the ball and a half.
Exactly. And how does Slafkovsky and Anderson get the same amount of games as Kachuk? Doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. He 2 game suspension with $102,000.
I don't think the money values the same amount. Like I don't think it
No, I
makes
know.
it worse. Like these guys get paid millions. What makes it
No,
worse
for sure.
is the amount of games
I,
you miss. He
I
can't
get
miss
it.
the same amount, Sam, as Anderson's, especially Sapkowski. The fact that they got the same amount of game suspension is completely shocking to me.
Yeah. George Parros
I
is
just,
being lazy.
it's like, it's just so, that's such bad luck where it's like your first 10 games in your NHL career and you're already on like the naughty list of suspensions. So it's, again, it's one of those things where the kid's going to learn, but
But it's good. He's not afraid to be physical. Like at least he's being physical. You can't
no,
take that away from him.
at that size, I would hope not. And I mean, the kid's going to have to use that if he wants success, in this league.
Exactly. So you know what?
It's
Be physical. It sucks he got suspended, but I want him to continue to play this way. Be physical. Use your body. Use your strength. If he doesn't do that, he doesn't have a shot in the NHL. But he's doing a good job with it. So keep doing it. Really keep doing it.
And did you guys see the Canadians? They lead the NHL with most goals by
Under
players
23.
aged under. Yeah, exactly. Habs
Yeah,
lead the NHL
beautiful.
with 27 goals. Excuse me, by
Can,
players aged 23 or younger this season.
You know
So
what? We give a lot. We give a lot to Suzuki and Caulfield, and rightfully so. Doc too. I'm
yeah,
so like again. I'm gonna reiterate just how stoked I am at how many points he's putting up. But uh, again, we've thrown a lot of praise Jack Eye's way. Um, I was actually watching the game this past weekend with some guys who play AAA hockey. Some of them were playing in the queue. Really, like these guys know their hockey, and they pointed out one thing that I had been thinking too, but I was happy somebody else vocalized it.
Jordan
Basically said,
Harris.
look at Jack. He doesn't just throw the puck anywhere when he takes a shot. This guy, he from the blue line, he throws a lot of good pucks right on net, and now it's 2 goals already
Yep.
for such a young guy, and a defenseman on top of it. Oh, I have a little four-legged visitor over here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
It's just amazing. It's just really like I think that's one thing that goes underappreciated for Jack Eye, his ability to get pucks on net from the blue line. Hats off, just another tip
Well,
of the
Well,
hat to
it,
our
it
he picks
appreciated
some
by
moments.
St. Louis. It was appreciated. He got power play time for it,
No,
right?
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Where a lot of people are like, how is it that Jack Guy is on the power play and Gooley isn't, or at least on the first wave? But yeah, it's
Mhm.
exactly that. He's got the most shot on net amongst the defensemen.
If it was Ducharme, he'd be up in the press box. Sorry, I haven't said a name in forever. I got to throw it in once in a while.
Yeah, he'd be learning from there, right? So yeah, so
Exactly.
27 goals. What is it? It's 9 goals from Suzuki. Here, hold on. I
8 from
have
8
Caulfield,
Caulfield,
4
nine,
Doc,
9 goals from Suzuki, 8 from Caulfield, 4 from
4
Doc,
Doc, 3 Slav,
Slavkovsky 3,
Goalie
Jacky 2,
1.
and Gouli. Yeah,
Goalie
Jacky 2
1.
and Goalie 1. So Jordan Harris could have had one, but I think that got.
Man, I really want him to. I want to be losing like 6-2 or something, and I really want him to get a goal. Harris, I really do. I think he deserves one.
He's so good.
He is.
Like
Mhm.
he, you know what? He's one of those defensemen that he's so good that you're not supposed to notice a shutdown defenseman. You know how they say like let's take for example Josh Georges, like you didn't notice him right most of the time.
No, but that's
Aside from
this game. You're not supposed to. Yeah.
exactly, but I find that's Jordan Harris where it's like he's so good you're not supposed to notice him, but you do because he is so good. Like he's becoming the new. Did you see like the 2 block shots that he did yesterday?
Yeah.
There's not only the block shots, he was in the offensive zone and he dangled around 2 guys
Like
against Vancouver. I'm trying to remember.
he's smart. Like
He's a
he's
smart
not
player.
he's not just a smart player. He's a smart kid too. Like
You can
some
tell
some
he's smart. He
people,
wasn't going to sign with Bergevin. I'm sorry. It's just it's right there for the taking. Yes, I
What a
know Sammy
fucking guy.
drafted him. I get it. I get it.
I'm
But
still convinced he would have signed. He just really wanted to complete his
probably.
education.
I'm joking. Yeah, he would have. But that was
But at the same time, too. No, but okay, hold on. Your little trash talking holds just a little bit of water. Not as much, but it does a little bit because he did reject his first offer
I know.
and he accepted Kent Hughes' offer. Personal ties maybe had a part to
That's
play in it.
that's what I was gonna ask. Maybe because didn't he had ties with him in college, right? So
Well,
his kid,
Hughes' son played
yeah,
with him in Northeastern.
that's right. So you never know. I mean that
Okay,
stuff can
so
go a
hold
long
on a
way.
sec. Excuse me. I'm just coming off a small little cold here. Let's say Bergevin. Okay, no. Let's say Kent Hughes came in a year earlier than he did and offered the same contract to Harris the same time that
Bergevin did.
Bergevin did. Do you think he would accept it?
Uh,
Gotcha.
tough to answer, man. I don't know.
It is tough to answer. All jokes aside, but all that to say is yeah, he Jordan Harris is not really getting rewarded on the score sheet, but if you're to look at his plus minus, I think he leads amongst defensemen with +6. You know who's +5? Who follows him?
No
Take a
comment.
wild guess which defense follows
No
him
comment.
after. Why not?
David Savard.
No,
Okay,
in
that was
in the
my off the.
Kovacevic.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
I said no comment because I thought it really was Savard. I thought you were getting back at me. No. Yeah,
No. Actually,
he's been playing good hockey.
hey, he
Like,
got his first NHL career point yesterday. So congrats to him on that. No, Savard is at a -2, Joey. In case you were wondering.
well, that's normal.
Blah.
No, Kovacevic and Mark Dumont makes me laugh on Twitter. I'm so happy
Yeah.
with his articles. He loves the Kovacevic and Harris pairing when it was together before Edmondson came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
It was like his who was playing with Kulak a lot. Kulak and Petrie, he loved that pairing together.
Mhm.
So it's like his new pairing is Harris and Kovacevic. I know it got broken up, but now the time is to see is when Matheson comes back is who sits.
Well, but
That's who-
that's I think Weidman sits, but you're still gonna have to send somebody down. Who are you sending?
Keep scoring, Hoffman. Keep scoring. We got to trade you away.
So you're not sending down Hoffman.
Pizzetta? No, you can't send down another forward, right? Because they already
Why
sent out
not?
one. Well, didn't they get rid of one?
They could
Pitlick.
they could
Well,
as long as it's
who did it
it's
from Pitlick, right? Yeah, they
yeah.
can.
Yeah,
But
what
Sam, you
Pitlick?
really I don't think you need to keep that many defensemen. You already have 7. You're going to keep 8?
So who do you think they're gonna send down amongst any of the defensemen?
Dadanov. Oh,
No,
defenseman.
Chris, they already sent down. This is the problem that Hughes is going to have. They already sent down a forward in Pitlick. You think they're going to send another forward for another defenseman? That means you're going to have 8 on your roster. Usually teams carry 7, not 8. Some team might carry it, but maybe he would. If it were me, if you're gonna send down another forward, you send down Pizzetta.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think you send
Yeah.
down one of the defensemen. Look, if you find a way to trade Savard and you get Matheson back, it's like the holy grail. Just give Hughes the GM of the year. But he won't get rid of him. So what do you
You
do?
want to know what's crazy? I think it's a possibility that Savard is going to be a hot commodity at the trade deadline. Joey, seriously, if
You're
he
starting to
continues
get
as
me
such,
excited, Chris.
if he continues as such, do you not think a team might want to pick him up
at
at
his
the deadline?
at his contract at 3, you're gonna have to retain some salary, man. Even though he doesn't
Even
cost
if,
much at 3.5 for the
You
next.
even
might.
if, okay, hang on to $1 million.
No,
So what?
no, but it's not just that. It's Chris. These teams don't want players with term. Well, not
No,
that
they
I don't
don't.
even know. At the trade
Post-COVID,
deadline.
they don't. Post-COVID era, they don't. It's like it's really like economically, cap-wise, it's really messed up for a lot of teams. Like unless you're getting a McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin, those type of top players, assets are your cap is your next best asset. Is just having cap space. I mean, we took a first rounder to take Monahan off our hands.
Yeah,
Literally a
exactly.
first rounder. Pacioretty was
He didn't.
traded for nothing. You're talking about a guy who scored consistently 30 to 39 goals because he never scored 40 in his career, got
Yeah.
traded to Carolina for nothing.
But $7 million
But
on the
still,
cap.
I mean, besides the last season because he was injured, he always produced for Vegas. He was scoring 30 goals a year.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, look, Savard keeps blocking shots. He keeps doing all right. He keeps being a staple on the penalty kill. Don't forget that. A contending team might want an
Chris,
expert
I'm all for
fifth or
it,
sixth
but
defense.
I don't see it. I'm all for it. I just don't see it like the whole him wanting to come back home and finish off like the way it kind of gave me that vibe when Bergevin signed it. He always wanted to come back home. It kind of seemed like he wanted to play out his last contract and then call it a career. But
Maybe.
maybe he wants another cup run. Hey, I'm all for it. Hughes goes to any GM saying, "Hey, this guy has blocked the second most shots in the league," which is true. He's actually blocked this. Maybe some sucker will take him. I don't know. But
You know which team has to be a bunch of suckers right now? I think very unfortunate what happened to Kane, but I think if I'm Kent Hughes, I'm calling up Edmonton to say, hey,
Well, it's
left-handed
funny.
shooter, you want Hoffman for Kane?
Well,
Like just the
do,
substitute?
do you think a player like Josh Anderson would fit well with Edmonton?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Would they be? Is it still Ken Holland that's a GM?
Yeah, I don't
Is it
think it's
still?
changed.
What's his?
Uh,
Yeah. But hold on a
is
second. I
it?
like Josh Anderson. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's still got 5 years left at 5.5 million.
That's what I'm saying. It's the contract is
No
not
one's
good
gonna
down
take
the
it.
no
No one's
down the
gonna
line.
take
It's
that
not
contract.
great. No, it's
No
not.
one's gonna. No one's gonna take Gallagher's contract at 6.5 for the same amount of
Well,
time
we
as
already
Josh.
know that.
So
But
look,
this
the
is
only
where I'm glad you brought this up too, Sam. And this is where I just want people to notice like we're doing well now. Our first line is scoring, yes, but our second, third, and fourth are giving like veteran presence. When we trade some of these guys, it will
and this
downgrade our play. I think it will
but
just in a sense of like
but
the
this
overall game.
and it comes back around again to what I said at the beginning. And Joe, I had this conversation with our dear Anthony. He's all about the team is playing as a unit. Yes, that goes without saying. But it's just that top line that's doing everything. You got the kids on defense that are doing very well for their rookie year so far. It's only been a month and a few days, but you have exceptional goaltending for the standards of Montembeault and Jake Allen. You just said it now, Joe. When those veteran players are gone, within give or take end of this season to the end of let's call it the 2025 season. Like this team's gonna be completely different.
Absolutely.
The only ones amongst the young kids right now that are going to be top form. I'm still sure you'll have Caulfield, Suzuki, and Doc top form. Jackeye, Anderson, even Jackeye, Gooley, even Harris are going to be even better than what they are right now.
Yeah.
And it's exciting knowing that prospects like Lane Hudson, Logan Mayu, if he gets approved, um, Owen Beck, Massar. It's exciting to know that they're going to come on this team by that time. But is it fair to put all that pressure on them to be like, no, you need to start performing now when you're year 1 or year 2 into your career? You know what I mean? Like,
No, not really.
my whole point in all this is that, like, yeah, it's great what we're seeing now with this team right now, but it's going to be different in 2-3 years down the line. And when
It'll
those
be
new kids
different
come
at
in,
trade deadline. I think for if Hughes would
oh
get
no,
rid of
I
who
hope
he
so.
wants to get rid of, I think it'll be even different at trade deadline. And this is what I was saying is I think we will play worse in a sense where we're gonna have other guys coming into play for those spots for the time being, and they're gonna make mistakes,
Yeah.
which will cause either goals or obviously things that lead up to goals. So
Mm-hmm.
I think our team is going to be different even at trade deadline. I really do. Because
I
Hughes,
hope
if
so.
he
And
could, he would trade all the guys you've mentioned throughout this whole episode. He would
Yes,
literally trade them all if he could. I
absolutely.
personally believe he could.
especially with this contract extension, I don't know why, but one guy who comes to mind is Jake Allen. I think teams are going to give the moon and the stars. If Molton, okay, let's ask just ask yourself this question: if Molton keeps playing the way he's playing, and our goal is to lose games, why
It's
not
not
call
our
up
goal,
Primo?
Chris.
It's
Our
not our
goal,
goal.
maybe, not theirs. That's not their goal.
I know it's not their goal, but okay. Let's say a team like Toronto who has shit goaltending because it's Toronto. Let's be honest, everything is shit there. But anyways, Toronto calls up and they say we're giving you a first round pick and a B prospect for Allen. Do you take that?
I would throw in Savard, saying here as a bonus.
No. But realistic,
Yes,
I
They need
understand your point
I
of
would.
view,
because
but
they need
I would
defense.
take a first rounder for Allen, but I don't think they're trading Allen. I'm sorry, I don't think it's happening. I don't. I
I think
just don't see it.
I think he's a new staple to the veteran presence. I really think
That's
he's
why they
there.
that's why they signed him to that extension.
Yeah,
I
he's
I
the one
agree.
exception. Like the other veterans don't want to get rid of because they're not performing / they need a change. But for someone who performed, who was always there when they need, who was Allen, like Dwayne Hoffman, Dandenoff was more because of trading Weber. Like those guys, like they're never there when you need them to be. But Allen has always been there. I don't think he moves until we find really our
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah, look, at the end of and it's exactly like I said, in 2-3 years from now, at the end of the 2025 season, Dvorak is contract is done, Armia's contract is done. Jake Evans by then is going to be like 28, 29 maybe. His contract's going to be done. And the only ones that you have left after that are Gallagher and Anderson. That's just the forwards.
Well,
That's just the forwards group. On defense, Savard's contract's going to be done. Kovacevic contract's going to be done. Weidman's going to be done before that.
Wyman's gone, Savard's gone,
And Edmondson's going to be done before that. This
Emerson's
team is
gone.
going to be completely different,
Yeah.
and this is why I'm saying this is why. Like I know we joke around about how long it's going to take for this team to be a contender again. It's going to be more than 3-4 years. They're going to need more than 3-4 years. Like the honest question: Do you guys expect Massar and Beck to make the team next year?
The year after the next.
It's either next. Yeah, if it's not next year, it's the year after for sure.
Okay, because
So
they both have a slide this year, right?
right,
So that means their contract starts kicking in as of next season.
right.
Not this season, but next season. Whether they make the team or not, their contract starts to kick in.
Sam, does Lane Hudson make the team?
No. No.
Okay.
I
Dude.
think Lane Hudson
I
is
know.
going
I
to be
just
2
want
to
to see what
3
he plays.
years.
Dude, stop. Come on, man. NCAA, he just started his first year in NCAA.
I know. It's going to be.
We're not
it's 2,
we're
3
gonna
years.
we're gonna see Lane Hudson if we're lucky in 3 years. At most 4.
You
Okay.
know
Like
what
Sean
would be
Farrell.
really nice?
What?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I think Sean Farrell, he give him, because this is his second year. Maybe they offer him, depending how well he does. I see him doing another year in the NCAA. I really do.
That's
You have
fair.
to think
That's
about,
fair.
but you have to think about this, guys. They only play 30 to 40 games if they're healthy. They need to
Yeah, that's
play
fair.
hockey. They need to play games. It's not like the
Well,
OHL. It's
don't
not
they
like
play
the
a lot more
CHL.
if they make? Don't they play a lot more if they make it to the final for the Hobie Baker Award?
They do. They do. But at most, they're playing maybe 40 to 50 games. Like I said, depending how far they go.
Yeah, okay, that
Like the
makes sense.
year. So look here. Let me just all my sources here on capfriendly.com. Awesome website. Let's look at Cole Caulfield, his final year in Wisconsin. He he played 31 games. And okay, granted, it was during COVID year as well. The year before that, he played 36. He played 31 games and he won the and his team went, where did they go? They didn't make the finals, but they lost the
It was the
semifinals within their
semis.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine 31 games. That includes the playoff run. Guys in NCAA, they don't play that many games. They need to. It's not like the CHL. Like, why are Jackeye and Gooley playing so well? They played over. They got my God. They played over 80 to 90 games last year,
That makes
or at
sense.
least last season. So NCAA is different, but all I'm just saying that it's right now. Like I get it, it's exciting, but Joe, like I'm glad you're agreeing with me on this. This team's gonna look different come trade deadline, or maybe even before, even next season. Next season, the team's gonna be different too. You can add
Yeah,
in
and
another one, or you can add in one or two of the young guns in that make the team. It's still gonna take time, though.
well, yeah, well, with Hughes, his goal is to get the cap obviously lower, and that's getting
Oh
rid
my
of
God,
veteran
big time.
contract. That's just
Yes.
like one of his number one goals. And obviously, he's going to start building the farm system for the Canadians itself. But as long as along the
Yeah.
way we see steady progress, look, tough game in Detroit, they battled through, they won, dominated a team that last year, that last year, if it was last year's team, like a team was
Hmm.
lower than us, they would still kill us. I remember when we lost 6-1 to the Devils, 6 or 7-1
Yeah.
when it was what's his name's last game, Ducharme. They were just
Yeah. My
around
God. Yeah. Yeah.
our standing. They were just around where we were in the standings, and we got absolutely annihilated. So as long as you keep seeing these steady progress about these games and the way the players are playing, I'm good with it. I'll trust Hughes the whole way. That's what we need to do, and
Exactly.
that's what we need to do for where we want to be.
Oh, I totally agree.
I hate.
Yes.
I was
You
just
hate
about
what?
to say. I hate to say. I wanted a rebuild. I wanted a complete rebuild.
I think we're still in.
Evidently, I think we are still in. There's one other factor that we haven't mentioned. Obviously, there's going to be changes made at the trade deadline, and the next 2 to 3 years, there are going to
Hmm.
be huge changes. But I can tell you, if these young guys, look, you look at Slafkovsky, who still has yet to find chemistry with somebody in particular. He's looking for that centerman. Obviously, look, we're hoping that we get one of these top 5 picks. But one of the things that we haven't factored into this conversation is the guys looking in from the outside elsewhere in the league. How many guys are going to want to come and play for Montreal? I think that's going to completely change.
I
We
don't know.
haven't seen this in the past. I know, Sammy, you hate this guy. Look, this guy's your Gallagher, but Dubois is going to be a guy who's going to sell his soul to come back home to Montreal and play here. And Dubois,
Ah, I
seriously,
don't
I take him. I take him eyes closed at the right price. If we're paying him like 6.5 to 7 million, I would take him on the team any day, any day.
It depends.
And
It
that's a
depends.
huge piece. That's a huge piece
A lot of
that
it's gonna
changes the
depend
whole
where they
look.
draft. It depends where they draft. Depends where they draft
Yeah,
this
that's
year.
true.
Well,
And it depends
think
who
about
they
it.
pick.
I
If they
like
fuck
Dubois
up,
as a
if they
player. I like Dubois as a player. I just think I don't want Dubois wasting or grabbing a spot of another centerman that could be a bit more useful or bring something a lot more than what Dubois can bring.
okay, so let me say this: we fuck up. We play too well this year. We don't finish in the
Mhm.
in the bottom 10. We don't
We
end
hope
up
for
getting
Florida.
one of those
We gotta
Okay, we
hope for
hope that
Florida to
Florida does
fuck
it.
up.
But let's just say in the most pessimistic situation, both Florida and Montreal don't make it in the bottom 10. We
Hmm.
miss our opportunity to draft a generational center. would you bring in Dubois at that point? If there's a spot, would he not make a perfect second line center after Suzuki? No
Yeah, I'd give.
discussions, no frustrating elements, no like battle for the first spot.
Yes,
Suzuki's your number one, Dubois is your number two.
but just wait till his contract's up, though. Don't give any assets for him.
Yeah.
That's in a couple
No,
of
you
years.
can't. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, if we do not get that top 10 draft pick, especially a center position, because I think deep down that's what we want. We want that generational center who's going to be 1-1 with Suzuki and playing hopefully with Slafkovsky. But if that goes to shit, which it's lining up to do so, I think in 2 years' time you have a guy like Dubois who's going to come in, and
Well,
I think
he's
he would fit in
he's
as a
an
great backup
RFA.
plan.
He's an RFA at the end of this season.
That's
Alex
why
Dubois.
it's going to be the year after, likely.
If they sign him to a 1-year deal, I think if they go to arbitration, he doesn't want to stay. It all depends. Because doesn't he become a UFA, I think, the year after? Or is it 2 years after that? I think it's the year after.
The year after.
It's
the year after.
Well, it depends how many games he's played in the NHL, because right now he's only 24.
So by the time he's 25, and then he would be 26. Yeah, it would depend.
But also depends how many games he's played. Yeah.
I agree with Chris. It would be, but I think Dubois only comes in, and we spoke about this before, when Montreal's ready to take that next step. So hopefully it all fits that he comes. Actually, you know what? Hopefully we don't need him. Maybe we'll have Bedard or Fantilli.
No, I'm taking my hopes away from Bedard, at least. I don't think we're gonna get him. Maybe Fantilli, but I'm gonna pay attention to a bit more of the top 10 list, because I know there's other sentiments there. But
it's strange, but I just wanted to add this. It's strange that Vancouver's having such a tough time. It's just like kind of destined that Bedard ends up going to Vancouver, playing for his hometown. You know what? I'd actually like to see that. I think that would be pretty.
They
pretty
already
awesome.
have Pedersen. They don't need him.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Before we wrap this up, guys, did you see the Ottawa Senators are retiring Chris Neal's number?
I guess. I mean, the Canadians don't really do it that way. They do it more like how well you do with the team, not how long you've been with them. So it's a mixture of both. Like, you have to be with the team for a long time and produce well. But the fact for Chris Neal, I don't know. I'm not used to it.
If Chris Neal's going up, then Chris Nyland should go up for the fucking Canadians.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
There's so many long-serving Canadians that are probably like a Chris Neal that will never get retired here.
Okay, listen, then Koivu's got to go up.
Oh, 100%. He should be up regardless of what happened with Chris Neal.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I find it so funny how, like, the Ottawa Senator standards to retire the number. And imagine, like, they still have I think Daniel Alfredson is he retired? Is his number retired?
I don't know, but if it's not, it should be. If Chris Neal is retired before Daniel Alfredson, there's a major problem.
So that's my point here. Is like, listen, you guys know where I stand about the Canadians retiring their numbers. I understand how at one point the standards were you need to be a Stanley Cup champion, but
no, they did retire it. Okay, they did retire Alfredson's number. Yeah,
Alfredson. Yeah. Okay, thank God.
They should retire. Do you think when he leaves the league, do you think they should retire Spezza's?
Yes. 100%.
Now just retire Heatley at that point and just have that first line that they had in Ottawa.
Retire Hossa, retire Chara, retire Hasek's number, because they all played for them and they were fucking amazing that year. I think in 2006.
Retire Danny Heatley's number.
Danny Heatley, dude.
I'm kidding. He didn't play for them long, but I remember that first line.
I know.
That first line used to scare me with Alfredson, Spezza, Heatley. When Ottawa was at the top of the East, and we would have to play them like, here we go, another 4 or 5 point night for that line.
Remember when Jason Spezza deked the shit out of Sheldon Surrey and Jose Theodore?
Yeah. Yes.
Both their fucking jock straps were hanging in the rafters. It was like, I remember watching that live and my jaw dropped. Like, and it was an overtime goal, and I actually felt bad for. I hated myself for loving the goal that I saw, because it was a sweet goal, but it was against the Canadians.
So you love it but hate it. But now the table is going to be reversed. We're going to do it. Suzuki's going to do it back to them.
He's so good. He's so freaking good. He's not afraid to. He's not afraid to. He's gutsy, especially on the shootout.
For sure. And you need to
He
be. He's
he
your
he
player.
he
You have
fooled he fooled Huso. Was it Huso?
Billy Huso, yeah.
Billy
Yeah.
Huso thought he was gonna flick it again on the top left side, and he just opened up a whole right side. So he's like, yeah, thanks.
And just scored. Yeah, he's a smart
Scored.
player. You got to be gutsy. You got to be smart. And
And the thing is, like, he knows he's good too. That's the
yeah,
best part.
exactly.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm ready to wrap this up if you guys are.
Yep.
So that's we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you everybody for tuning in on this new episode of the Curfew Boys. Again, Remembrance Day, wear a poppy in honor of the fallen, lest we forget, and honor those brave men and women that serve. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy what you see and what you hear, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Don't forget, Saturday, the Canadians face Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins at, please tell me I'm right, at the Bell Center. I believe so. It's another home game.
I
Yes,
think
it
we
is.
win again. I think we
No.
win again.
No, I want them to lose now. No, because
I
Pittsburgh's
want them to lose, but I think we win. I want them to lose every game the rest of the season.
Pittsburgh's on a winning streak right now. Here, hold on a sec. There's a couple of teams that I'm paying attention to. I know we're sort of wrapping up, but
9-8
what
loss
about
on Saturday. That's what we need.
9-8 loss.
8 off-field goals, 8 Suzuki.
Here, real quick, the Blue Jackets are beating the Flyers 3-1.
4-2 now.
It's 4-2.
Yeah, it's over the game. They probably scored.
Oh, jeez, it's 5-2. Yeah, Coyotes are winning. The Blues are winning.
But San Jose is not a great team
I
either.
I don't understand the Bruins. I don't.
Unreal. Oh, nice. The Rangers won. That's good. The Golden Knights beat the Sabres. Damn it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So much for the wrapping up here. We're going into NHL scoreboards.
Ottawa got a point at least in overtime, so we'll take anything we can get.
Okay. So here, as we're wrapping this up, let's go check the standings one more time. The Canadians dropped from 16th to 17th spot just because Buffalo couldn't fucking get it done. But if Colorado wins, I guess they'll be tied with us.
Don't worry about Colorado, Sam. Like, it's too early. You're talking about the Stanley Cup champs. You think?
Oh yeah. No, for sure. Let's
Joey.
Let's go
Eichel
Coyotes.
hat-trick.
Yeah.
Eichel hat-trick.
No kidding. That guy's on fire. What did I tell you? I can't start with Eichel with you guys.
Eichel 100 points. I'm calling it now.
Well, we'll talk about this off pod about Eichel, because I remember all the shit you guys gave me about Eichel. I couldn't. You guys, how bad he played when he came back from his neck surgery. It's normal. Vegas was terrible last year. Anyways, every time I watch Vegas, I can't even watch Vegas play because I see Eichel play for them. I can't do it.
On that note, thanks again, gentlemen. Until next time. Bye now.
Bye now.
I know.
Good night.